You know what question I would love to ask him, Khang?
Who? Troy Weaver or
Trajan Langdon?
Trajan Langdon?
I would love to ask him the question because he got there a couple days after they had drafted Zion Williamson. Would he have drafted Zion Williamson?
Or Ja Morant?
Yeah. Because we got into the whole debate when that happened, right?
Uh-huh.
It seemed like 90% of people, you take Zion Williamson. And I think we were some of the few that said, no, I take Ja Morant. Now, Ja Morant has a whole other set of issues.
But as a player, he's fantastic.
But as a player, he's healthy. He was healthy and he was fantastic.
More healthy than Zion.
Well, healthier. Yeah, but, I mean, good God.
Everyone's more healthy than Zion.
Everyone's more healthy. But I never bought into the Zion hype because I never thought he was going to be able to stay healthy. A guy that big just shouldn't be doing what he's doing because it's just going to be damaging his body. And sure enough, it's exactly what's happened. But I'd love to know that answer. Like, if you got that job a couple days earlier, would you have lobbied against?
I mean, this is truth serum, off the record because he's not going to answer. He's not going to say that. I think he's going to back Zion in the organization. I don't think he would.
Really?
I think so.
It wasn't his pick.
Well, we don't know that.
And he's no longer with that organization.
Yeah, I don't think he would. But, maybe. I mean, ask him. Maybe we get him on the show. Maybe the morning show gets him on, and we tell them, hey, slip this question in there. Would you have drafted? Hey, how much of you really wanted Ja Morant?
Did you really?
How close was Ja Morant to being the first overall pick? Come on. Don't say anything if he was. Pause for 5 seconds. 1,000. 1,000. But,
Are we clear? Yes. Yeah. Thank you. That's all I had to say or not say.
So what about roster-wise, though, Gator? What would you like to see Trajan Langdon do? Okay, so first of all, Troy Weaver, I think we both agree he should move on from Troy Weaver.
100%.
Now, the next...
I think that's the logical first step.
Uh-huh.
Public execution.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay. Next is probably, do you want to keep Monty Williams?
When I say public execution, I don't mean like actually beheading the guy in Times
hope
Square.
not.
I mean like...
Because I'm not advocating that.
No. I'm just saying is...
I'm behind you if you want to just let him go for his,
job.
First
thing, introductory press conference. I guess you do your first press conference and maybe the next day you come out and say, hey, we decided to thank Troy Weaver for his service with the team and best of luck in his future endeavors.
Yep.
That's the public execution I was talking about.
Okay. And then next is hey, do you want to keep Monty Williams as the head coach of this team?
Well, that's a big thing, right? To me, and I think that's the number one thing, is having a conversation with the head coach and seeing where the head coach is at first. Before you make up your own mind, I want to hear what Monty Williams feels about this team. Like, where is the team really at? Where are you at? Do you want to be here? Because we know that it took a lot of coaxing to get you to come out and coach this team.
And a record deal.
It was money that did it. Flat out, it was money. I don't think it was the opportunity. It was the money. Because it seemed like you were not ready to come back to coaching. You wanted to sit out for a little bit and deal with what was going on with you personally. So where are you now? A year later, are you all on board with making this team better? Do you still have it in you? The want to coach, is that part of you? Do you still have the desire, the passion? If you don't, I need to know. And we'll talk to Goris about getting a buyout of some kind. But the contract is such an albatross that you would have to think that there'd be some way to work it out. And hopefully, because I do think that Monty Williams is a really good basketball coach, I hope he says, you know what, this year has been really tough, but what it has done is I'm actually reinvigorated. I can't wait to get back to work and work with these guys and work with you and figuring out what we're going to do with the draft, what we're going to do with free agency. And that's what I'm excited about it. And I hope he does that because, again, I think he's a really good coach. I think he was thrown in a bad situation because he just wasn't there all in from day one because of what was going on.
And the roster around him was built poorly.
Yeah. So and then that comes up with the next question is, okay, we're going to try to find a roster that works. Do we do that with the guys that are here or do we start moving guys around? Do you see it where the Pistons can survive with Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey on the floor at the same time? Or does this not work at all? Do we need to move one of the players? And let's face it would be Jaden Ivey. I don't think, people can talk about moving Cade Cunningham. I don't think they're going to move Cade Cunningham. I think it's a guy you can build around. My biggest concern with Cade Cunningham is his health. It's not his ability to play basketball. I think he's a really good basketball player. And I think there are times you watch him play, he is so determined and you can see the weight of the team is on his shoulders. But, yeah, the next is which player or players need to go? And what are you looking to bring back in return? I would have to imagine if you were willing to deal Jaden Ivey or Jalen Duren, then you could get something decent in return.
And if you package that with the 5th overall pick, too.
Well, now you're talking something bigger. Even though people say it's a bad draft,
it's still that has
it may
value.
not be a deep draft,
Yeah.
but there are players to be found in every draft class. Look at MVPs that have been taken in the second round. So I don't want to hear that they're, all the doom and gloom about, well, this draft class sucks. You may not have the consensus number 1 pick or whoever that guy is, but you can't tell me that there aren't going to be future All-Stars from this draft.
But also, when you trade a draft pick, you're trading a low contract. That draft, that player hasn't gotten a huge deal yet. So that can help a team. That's an asset for another team to take on where, hey, we get a young player under team control for a very manageable number. So I don't think this is like a Detroit Tigers situation where, hey, oh no, another guy comes in, we got to wait for another rebuild. No, I think Trajan Langdon can come in and make some pretty decent moves right away. To me, Cade Cunningham, one of the questions going to come up very quickly here is whether you extend this guy or not. This is the world we live in with the NBA and most sports now is when a guy's contract is up, if he's just decent, borderline all-star, he's going to get paid a lot of money in that new extension. Do you extend Cade? And if you do, you're right. Who do you move elsewhere? Is Brandon Ingram, who's a guy who's been rumored to be on the trade market, a guy you want to bring here to the Pistons? Do you move Isaiah Stewart, a 5th overall pick, to get Brandon Ingram? Then you have to worry about extending him to a contract. Julius Randle apparently is the odds-on favorite. Detroit's one of the favorites to land Julius Randle. Who knows what's going on out there, but I want Trajan Langdon to do I want him to do something like that because I think the fans they've been very frustrated and they deserve more than what they've gotten.
I think as a fan, I want a different look. I want a different approach. I think there are a couple guys I'd like to hang on to, and then beyond that, free to do what you need to do. I like Fontecchio as a shooter. You need to have shooters in this league. He's just a flat out shooter. I'll take him. I got Cade Cunningham, and I think, and it's not that Fontecchio is untouchable. It's just a guy that I happen to like for what the league is. But I think beyond that, and Asar Thompson, I think anything goes. And even Asar Thompson could be dealt.
They got a lot of possible good secondary third players. They don't have ones. Cade is a possible one, but you need at least 1 or 2 of those guys in this league. Look at the playoffs. Look at around the whole league. Everyone's got at least 2 legit star-type guys, and then you build the roster around them with the Asar Thompsons and Simone and Jalen Duren's. That's fine, but they only have – we don't even know if we have 1-1. I mean, Cade he's an incomplete.
I think he is. I think he's great. I think he really –
We think he could be.
But can he stay healthy?
And then you got to pair him up with another guy.
Right. These are the issues that he's walking into, and I can't wait to hear, when he's introduced as the new president of basketball operations with the Pistons, of what he has to say, what his vision is, and yes, would you have taken John Morant over Zion Williamson?
That's a Gator question.
That is a Gator question.